So we are eager to talk with you about anything that matters to you. Nothing is off limits. Nothing is off limits. It is our desire, not only with those of you who will sit here and we will play with, but it is our desire with each of you that you will soften any resistance to any desire that you hold. Soften any resistance. In other words, the doubt fades while the interest grows. The doubt dissolves while the knowing replaces it. And the result of that is satisfaction. The result of that is a feeling of love, but love is another word that we can't say to you very much because every time we say it, you think we mean what you mean. We don't use the word God either because you've got that all sort of mixed up. There are so many things that you perceive that we understand why you perceive them because you've been basing your perception on watching the behavior of others and even the behavior of yourself. But again, we want to emphasize that's old news. How anything is happening, how anything is behaving, what's going on anywhere with anyone is old news. So whenever you look at old news, do you know what old news is meant for? Old news is intended by you to be the bouncing off place to the new idea. Because it is the new idea in the making that is the greatest satisfaction of life. To have an idea of something that you desire and not be killing it with your doubt is the most delicious state of being. And then to witness universal forces, call it God force if you must, universal forces joining with your flowing of energy toward the gathering of the cooperative components for the results that you seek in terms of manifestation. Please understand, we are not in any way trying to divert your attention from manifestation. You came for manifestation because you are creators, and manifesting into physical form is the most delicious, most extended version of creation. You're not here without that which is non-physical. All that is non-physical is here with you on this leading edge, enjoying your manifestations. But non-physical is enjoying your manifestations in the making while you are so often yearning for them to come out where you can see them. It would be paramount to putting a kernel of corn in the ground with your knowledge that if it is tended to, that it will become that full plant with ears of corn that you can then harvest and enjoy. But you're stomping on the kernels of corn so often, demanding that they come out before you have allowed them the season, the tending, the nurturing, the natural evolution and expansion of the desire. And we want to help you to feel the satisfaction factor in standing in the absence of the manifestation, but the knowledge of its becoming. So that you don't have to see it in order to believe it. You believe it because you know the process. You believe it because you understand your worthiness. You believe it because you believe in the goodness of all that is. You believe it because you have this knowledge that is coming forth from within. And because you have been practicing the art of allowing for a little while, even though you can't see it, you believe it. And then you'll see it. But if you demand that you must see it before you believe it, then you're going to be stuck in this dissatisfaction mode. And that is the reason that we are here visiting with you. We think you should be happy all day, every day. It is our knowing that you are pure positive energy, and we know the eagerness with which you came forth into this physical experience. And if in any moment of time you're not feeling satisfied, joyful anticipation of things that are unfolding, then that means you're pinching yourself off from the part of you that we are referring to as your inner being, who is right here enjoying this process of unfolding. You cannot separate yourself from your inner being and what your inner being knows and feel good at the same time. And your inner being knows everything that you have sifted and sorted through the knowing what you don't want and knowing what you do want, and the launching of the rockets of desire into this vibrational reality, your inner being is there with you relative to all of those things. There is nothing that you cannot be or do or have. But if you could just not care about the manifestations as much as you feel about the satisfaction, the feeling of satisfaction as your creative juices are flowing, it would be like a sculptor who is so much more adoring the process of creating the sculpture than the sculpture that has been created. It's the process that gives you life, you see. And you got to sort of kind of know that, because every time, haven't you noticed, every time you ask for something and line up with it and it comes, isn't it very short-lived satisfaction in terms of it? Aren't you often running on something else again? Didn't your parents say to you, you're never satisfied? And they didn't mean that in a good way, because they thought that they were the vortex through which you thought all your good could come. And sometimes you thought that too. In other words, your parents weren't misunderstanding you completely. Isn't it a nice thing when you get it, that you have the ability and the right and the worthiness? That's the part that we're going to work on with you a little bit today. The worthiness to allow the natural unfolding of the cooperative components assembling to give you anything and everything that you want. And we think that before we're finished today, you'll be as enthusiastic about the process of unfolding as we all are about your process of unfolding. So, what do you want to talk about? All right, we're really, really going to have a good day. This is going to be a really good day. It's a frightening day. Really good. Let's begin right here. Stand if you think it's you. Yes.